Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Game of Two Halves podcast. We are back, and as promised last week, we are back with some more information on the game week one. Well, before we get started, we like try something different. So do make sure that you like this video now. Make sure that you press the subscribe button somewhere on your screen because we need more subscribers. And thanks to everyone who's checked out all our last videos. If you like to watch more of our content, do click one of these buttons on the top and you'll be able to watch more videos. But on that note, let me welcome Vijay. Hey Vijay, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up, Valley? I'm good, man. I'm good. What an amazing first game week, right, to kick off the season.
True, it's an amazing way to start. I think last week we discussed how excited we are for this game week, and the EPL never disappoints. I would say, it was a
Yeah.
fantastic game week one. All the games are now complete, so let's really dive into what we predicted last week and see how much of that came true. And we're starting with the first game. Obviously, a little biased towards our own club. So we're starting with Arsenal versus Forest. Arsenal winning the game 2 goals to 1. Um, I think I'm going to start with you, Vijay. What are your thoughts on the game? What is your reaction to all of this?
Well, I watched the game and I thought that the first half was brilliant. I think Arsenal played really well, started off very well. I was really impressed by Timber. I think I mentioned it on a group chat also. So yeah, Timber looked really good to me. We'll come to his injury a little later, but what a goal by Saka, man. It just feels like he's carried on from where he left. Great energy, great atmosphere. The match got delayed by half an hour because of some ticketing issues, and then there was memes that Ars- Arsenal used all the ticketing system money to buy rice.
Yeah.
But yeah, but brilliant game, man. Just football being back, and I can imagine the excitement you must have had seeing that match. Two goals in the first half. Brilliant assist by Martinelli as well. For the NKTR goal. So forget about me. You tell me how did the match live up to your expectations? How was your
Uh,
first
Well, I
watch?
think just watching Arsenal is a joy. Watching them in a competitive game is a joy. And there's no better way than starting the season with a win. No matter what team it is, we've learned this in the Premier League. We, of all people, have learned this in the Premier League that, being what for 30 weeks on top, you can still lose the Premier League. No team should be taken lightly. But getting that. Win, I think, is going to boost the team a lot. We have few new players in the team. They needed to settle in, and to be honest, all three players were on the pitch. So we had Timber, who was new, on the pitch. We had Rice playing as well, and we had Kai Havertz. And I think if we watched the game, all three of them did exceptionally well in the roles that they were assigned. Now, for me, what was interesting is we tried out something that was never tried before, where we
Yeah,
we went with a sort of the four in the back line, but technically it was three in the back line because Partey would invert from the right back
right
position
back.
into a defensive midfield role
Yeah,
alongside with Rice, leaving Odegaard and Kai Havertz to play what is now uniquely, I think, maybe Pep style, two number eights with Kai sometimes playing the number 10 role, giving a lot of opportunity in the wings to Saka and Martinelli to do their magic. And if you see, if you're into sort of statistics, you'll see that both the goals were a result of these two wingers.
yeah,
Martinelli doing some
yeah.
magic there, and passing on the ball to Nketiah for a beautiful finish, and then
Brilliant.
Saka, I think, almost like in a very Henry-esque style, scoring that goal. I think really beautiful to watch that. I think
Yeah.
one miss that was there at the end of the game was the change of tactics that Arsenal needed to adopt, because we started off with the right tactics, because Forest have been a team with the least amount of possession in the Premier League last year. And that's the reason Arteta favored a back three and a sort of midfield five, more attacking. But once Forest were two down in the first half, they started to open up play. They started to use the width of the pitch a lot and loop into those gaps that were there, putting in long balls and driving through that channel where Partey was having it difficult to move back into his position. And I think that's where Arteta could have changed the tactics early on, bringing Gabriel in to sort of solidify the back four, moving, and of course, Timber to his right position, and Ben White also to the wing where he played last year. And I think that could have made a difference. And maybe we could have seen more goals and a clean sheet. And I think that's the only disappointing part for me. But other than that, yeah, it was a great game of football.
Yeah, great analysis there. I know the party uh, position at the start of the match was a surprise, I think, to a lot. And from a FPL point of view, Gabriel not starting was a disappointing thing. But I think he
Yeah.
was, I think, the third highest defender owned in the game. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't continue when he gets to play some games, man.
Yeah, we don't know. I think just some news that we're hearing that Real Madrid and Saudi teams are looking interested in buying Gabriel because Madrid has had an injury to their defender, so they are in the market for a central defender.
Are you
Never
serious?
know. Yeah, and Gabriel has been performing well. And when a team like Madrid calls, Barca calls, you have a tough decision to make. No matter whether you're playing at Arsenal, you're playing your best football, you have one of the best exciting new coaches. There's a charm towards playing in Real
Hmm.
Madrid. It's a badge of honor,
Yeah.
to have it. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. But moving on into, I think probably one of the highlight of the game week one was the Chelsea Liverpool game for
Yeah.
multiple
But
reasons. Yes,
before we get to that, the prediction. So you said it would be
I was trying
3-1, and
to
I
trying
said
to
it would
skip it.
be 2-0.
That's true.
But I think both of us were close, right? You went for a
Yeah,
3-1 and I went for a 2-0. So yeah,
yeah.
but nobody got it right.
I just knew that we are going to concede, but I was hoping that we score more goals. In the end, we are both right that we won. But yeah, definitely something we'll be keeping a track of. Maybe the next game that we're going to review, we can look into the predictions a little bit more. But I just wanted to lay down the story for Chelsea versus Liverpool. Chelsea coming off a horrible 9 months, three managers down, the fourth manager coming in Pochettino, or maybe fifth, if I'm not mistaken, for the one game week coach that you'll had. Um, so a lot of players leaving the club, including Mason Mount going into United. I think there was a lot of pressure on Chelsea to show something. Nobody wanted Chelsea to win, but everyone wanted to see something, some progress, something to spark up the Chelsea fan base. And for me, in my opinion, in some ways, we did get to see it. Liverpool, on the other hand, were having a horrendous season, but saved it in the end with some really fighting spirit. I think they went on I think 8 game winning streak. So it was a good contest to see. I think if I remember correctly, Pochettino has never lost a game in the first game week in the Premier League. So there was everything to be said over there in that game, and it didn't disappoint. So I'll start with you. Obviously, as a Chelsea fan, what are your reactions on the game?
Oh, amazing, amazing. I mean, we couldn't have started better, right? I think the most important thing was, and we discussed this on our previous episode, is that the energy is back, right? The desire is back. There are some people who didn't want to be here, but it's a whole new young squad. We spoke about it last week that we have a pretty young squad now in I think the entire Premier League or Europe, and you could just feel that everyone was giving their 100%. It was such a treat to watch. Yes, the first goal that Liverpool scored was really good. That Salah assist, when you see the analysis of how he saw Diaz and how Diaz ran and then scored the goal. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But then the desire we showed to come back, it was like lacking the whole of last season. Like, we were like so pathetic the whole season, but we showed it against Liverpool, a class team. We scored also, which was offside. They also scored, which was also an offside. So I think all in all, what I predicted was true. It was 1-1. It was a draw. We didn't want to lose that game. We could have won it. Yes, could have, should have is a different thing. But very happy with the result and even happier with the performance.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. As much as I hate to do it, Chelsea really looked well. I think someone that stood out for me was Chilwell. I think we shared this in our notes as well. The way he commanded that midfield, the way he was creating opportunities, I felt like he was all over the place in the good sense.
Yeah.
Everywhere the action was, you could find Chilwell there, creating spaces, creating passes. I think he was a real threat throughout the game. And also, you mentioned, I think, off air, in terms of the goal scorer for you. Maybe if you would like to talk a little bit about him, because I haven't seen this player before.
Yeah, I mean, Axel Disasi, right? I mean, I haven't seen him either, and I was actually surprised that he went straight into the team. I think he joined just maybe in the week when the league started, or maybe just up over 1 week before the game. It's not like he joined us long time back and he was a part of the preseason and stuff. He just joined us like recently, and he went straight into the lineup. That just goes to show that the manager, the kind of trust the manager had in him, and he delivered, man. I mean, what a brilliant game. That goal was a little scrappy, but it doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, it's a goal against Liverpool. It's a goal at home, on your debut in a new league. I mean, it couldn't have been better for him. And he's a solid player, man. He's a solid player. He's tall. He's strong. I think he defended also pretty well. So
Is he
really
the
happy. I think.
is he the new John Terry?
Nah, nah, it's you can't compare anyone to John Terry, man. I mean, yeah, yeah, we can go on and all about him, but it's too early for that. He looks good. He looks like he can just get better from here. And Chilwell, oh my God, I watched him in all of the preseason, and he's went straight into my FPL team also because he is he's literally a striker. You're getting a striker, like, yeah, he's literally a striker. He was in the box. He scored a goal, man, and it was offside. And you saw the goal he scored. He
Yeah.
tackled the goalkeeper, went around the goalkeeper, and then he finished it. So, like, he's too good. And that is what I said in the beginning. If we can keep our wingers fit throughout the season, it is going to make a big difference. But I've just got to know some time back. We are recording this on a Thursday. Just got to know that Reece James has picked up an hamstring injury
Not
again.
again. Oh my
Yes.
God, not again.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's very, very sad. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be covering a little bit of the transfer news in a later segment or another video. So do check that out as well. But really sad to hear
Yeah.
about Reece James. I think he is a difference maker for you in your team. I was just going through some of the stats while you were speaking, and this could maybe shock a lot of people. In terms of passes completed by Chelsea, I'm looking at 698 versus 377 of Liverpool. In terms of the accuracy of passing, 87 to Chelsea versus 79 of Liverpool. Possession. Can you guess what was Chelsea's possession? No?
Yeah, 65, 70% maybe.
65 versus
Yeah.
Liverpool's 35%. For me, that shows the level of dominance Chelsea actually had throughout the game. And like you said, while I hate to admit it, it does reflect how well Chelsea approached the game. I think to summarize a little bit about Liverpool, and it's not going to get better anyways when will be covering that in the transfer market video that's coming out. Their midfield is in shambles. They don't have a
Yeah. Yeah.
strong midfield. And if you are a little bit of a football fan and watch the Premier League or any league for that matter, you know now that the midfield is one of the highly contested areas for players. Gone are the days where, of course, the striker position is evolved in very many ways, but now this is where people put their money in. Declan Rice, Moises Caicedo, Casemiro, anyone, even if you to go to the Saudi league in Ruben Neves and the way he's playing, you look at De Bruyne, you look at Gundogan, like all of these people are
Rodri,
in the
yeah.
Rodri for a great example. They're all in the heart, and Liverpool is missing that at this moment. They do not have that, and they've just lost out two of those races. So it's going to be difficult for Liverpool. They have 13 days to do something there, but if not, they're going to be struggling this year.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. We are happy we beat them
You didn't beat
to
them.
Caicedo.
Yeah, to Casemiro, yes.
Yeah, we'll cover it in our transfer section in
For
a bit,
sure.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. And do let me know on my comment. Did Chelsea now find their new John Terry? Let me know if you agree with it, with it or no. But we'll move on very quickly into two of City's games. The game week one, of course, versus their one of their own in Vincent Company, the opening game of the season, Burnley. And as sort of predicted by us in our video, Haaland took 4 minutes to open the goal and open his scoring tally already and scored in the first 4 minutes. Yeah, I think nobody had a doubt what the result of this game would be. But what's your analysis just looking at the way City approached the game?
Ruthless, man. I mean, there is no there is no question of them being tired or being what do you say, not focused and stuff. They back to business. Haaland, two touches, two goals. That guy is he's a beast, man. He's from another planet. I mean, we I know that we said earlier about witnessing Ronaldo and Messi. I'm not comparing yet, but I'm saying to be witnessing him in the Premier League breaking records, playing the way he's playing, it's just amazing, right? And yeah, you got the prediction right this time, 3-0. I went for four. They could have had a fourth goal, but he subbed Haaland off, man. Pep.
Yeah, I I think Haaland was not too happy because when he went off, I don't think so. He wanted to go off, but that's Pep being Pep. I think Pep manages players so well,
Absolutely.
their fitness levels, their attitude, their ego, everything, and that's why he is who he is. That's why he achieves what he does. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to go too much into game play of it. I think City did what City does, and they got the win there. They then went on to play another game, believe you or not, between this time. This was the European Super Cup as a result of being champions of the Champions League, playing versus Sevilla. I think both of us didn't really watch the game, but they did sort of go into a similar showdown what they had with Arsenal in the Community Shield. It was a 1-1 draw at the end of the time, went into penalties, and they won 5 goals to 4. Celebrating yet another trophy in their cabinet, and you just can't stop them, right?
Yeah, man. They don't look like they're gonna stop anytime soon. And I mean that's where I think that conversation comes. If Arsenal can actually stop them, can truly like compete for the title. It comes down to that, right? Like which team can stop them. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. They look like they're on another level.
Yeah, that's true. And then moving into their neighbors in Manchester United playing versus Wolves. Manchester United getting the win, leaving it quite late for the ex Madrid Varane to score the goal. Uh, but I think as much as I watched the game, there was a lot more desired, I would say, from Manchester United. Wolves, who I think a lot of people have already put into their predictions to go down and be relegated, stepped up to the plate, playing away at Old Trafford, put on quite a show, and United left it quite late to get the winner there. But it didn't really convince me with the win. But it's still early days. Again, they're still getting their team. Now Ten Hag into his second full season. He's had three transfer windows. He's got more or less a lot of the players that he's wanting to. So it's going to take some time to evolve, just as we've seen the evolution of Arsenal last year. But for me, I think it wasn't one of the best games United have played, but they still managed to get the win.
Yeah, I completely agree. Wolves sort of dominated that game. I watched the extended highlights. They missed a lot of chances. Obviously, no one can deny that they had a clear penalty not given to them, right? There was a big talking point
Yeah.
throughout the week, and even the referee head has come out and apologized to the Wolves manager, and they've suspended the referees who were there for that game, to officiate any games in the next week. So it's a big mistake, man. And I don't and we've seen everything in this week, right?
Yeah.
We've seen injuries, we've seen like debutants getting injured, Timber, we'll come to that in a bit. We've seen VAR decisions, again, lack of consistency and very simple mistakes from referees. So, yeah, Premier League is back and back with a bang, dude.
That's true. I think that's what I said. It, like, it doesn't disappoint anybody. The fans, the neutrals. It's got everything in it.
Everything.
And of course, also to look at some of the new regulations that have come in, the time that is added on to the end of each half,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
notice, is now following a similar format that was followed in the World Cup.
Okay. Yeah.
This is done to discourage time wastage. Another small update that has come up is that now, if you do get injured during a game, or that you are tackled and fouled and you need medical attention, so the referee will come up to you, ask you if you need the attention. If you do say you need the attention, you can get a bit of on-field assistance till you can move out of the pitch, where you can continue your medical assistance, but you cannot enter back into the pitch for up to 30 seconds. And this could be quite an advantage to the opposing teams at times. And we've seen this in certain matches where the team is down to
Hmm.
10 men. It's a situation where the opposing team can take advantage of the situation. So very interesting rules coming in. We'll have to see what happens throughout the season. Keep it locked into our channel. Do let us know if you agree with some of the assessment we've made today on game week 1. It was exciting. We can't wait for game week 2 to come. So check us out in the next video, where we review game week 2 and give
True.
our predictions for it. Make sure that you like this video, share it, and please do subscribe to our channel. And until the next video, see you. Thank you all. And thanks, Vijay.
Thanks, Ali. Yeah. See you guys.
What? 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 What?